Hello, Evans Park and Franklin Avenue. I have a fun art project that you can try at home. And this weekend, we went apple picking and I have so many apples, I don't know what to do with them all. But I thought of a fun project that I used to do many years ago. So I decided to teach it to you. So what you'll need will be some apples, and you can use the red or the green, it doesn't matter. And you'll need a little vegetable peeler, and you'll need some tools for carving, and you're also gonna need some lemon and some salt. So what are we making? Let me show you. So I'm gonna move you down here so you can see my tabletop. And the first thing you wanna do is you wanna take your apple, and using your little peeler, you might wanna get a parent or a friend to help you here, but you just wanna peel off the skin. There's my apple, and my apple is now ready to be sculpted because we're gonna make little tiny heads for Halloween, little spooky heads. So now that I have that, I'm gonna take a Sharpie here just so you can see. You don't have to do this on yours, but I'm gonna kind of map out where I wanna put a face. And what I'm doing is I'm just drawing some lines, and you can see my face right there. Keep it real simple. And using some ordinary kitchen silverware, you can sculpt out a face. So for example, let me start with his eyeballs. So I'm just gonna take the back of my spoon here, and I'll move you down so you can see. And I'm gonna go in and just kind of round out an eye. Now the deeper and the more apple you take out, the more dramatic the face will be once this dries, okay? So you wanna think about that as you're carving. So this apple happens to be quite soft, which is good. So you can see, look at that. I was able to make two nice holes for his eyes, okay? And I think for his nose, I'm gonna actually use the side of my spoon here. And what I did was I just kind of pushed it in. You can see what I'm doing. And now I'm gonna scrape away. So you're scraping, and you're carving, and you're chiseling, and you're, oh, look at that. See the nose pop out? All right. And I think I'm gonna make his mouth wide open. So really get in there with your spoon and push and pull. And don't worry if you end up taking more off than you think, because it's going to look great when you're done. So I'm just gonna put an indent here on his forehead because I want his forehead to kind of wrinkle up and look old and shrivelly. Maybe I'm gonna make like a little witch. And just kind of smooth it out a little bit using your spoon. Now you can take other tools like a fork, and if you want, use your fork, and see what I did? I created little lines, and when this shrivels up, it's gonna create wrinkles by his face. Okay. So I went pretty deep there. See that? And now when I'm happy with how he looks, and I think this looks good, try some in his mouth, see what happens. Okay. So I think he's all carved out. I think he looks really good. And now what I have to do is, I did this already, I got it set up. I took some lemon juice, and I am going to take some salt and sprinkle it into the lemon juice. So put a lot in, don't be afraid. And now taking your spoon, what you want to do is pour the lemon juice over the apple. And this is going to help preserve the apple after he dries out. So make sure you cover the whole thing. So you'll need maybe 2 lemons if you're going to make a bunch of these. Okay, that's good. And now, take a pencil. There's actually 2 ways to do this. You could take a pencil and just put them on. And you can stick them out in a nice dry spot and he will start to shrivel up. Or you can take your head and if you want, you can cut some of it off to kind of shrink it a bit. And you can put this in a very, very low temperature toaster oven for a couple hours. And you obviously have to have an adult help you with that. But when they come out, check this out. You ready to see them? Look, whoa, at these little heads that I made yesterday. Okay, now they're not decorated yet, but you can see that I have my eyes and my mouth. And I actually, this was one apple that I cut in half and made 2 different faces. Pretty cool, right? So the next step is I'm going to decorate them. Okay, so boys and girls, I have my little apple heads here and I have some glue and I'm gonna use some of these eyeballs that I have. You may not even need glue, they just kind of pop in. Yeah, look at that. Isn't he fantastic looking? He's so grumpy. And I think this guy, I will put a little glue in his eyes. Big old blob. And I'll use some of the medium-sized ones here. Just put them on. I then can take a piece of paper and cut out a fun-looking tongue. And maybe glue a tongue coming out of this guy's mouth. I have some of this old moss. So I'm gonna bunch it up. And I think I'll put a little glue on the top of that guy's head. And give him a fun little hairdo. Do you see him there? And just wedge a little hole into the bottom. Put him on a stick. So that way I can stick him into a plant upstairs in my living room for Halloween. Yeah, that's much better. So now I have 2 little apple heads. And if I wanted, I can continue the project and I can take perhaps a cup and I could put the stick through the cup and start to make his body like a little puppet, and I can put arms on it and I can keep going and going. So just to show you, with an apple, you can make a fun art project for fall, okay? So maybe if you go apple picking this season and you have some apples laying around, you can give the apple head a try. Have fun creating, boys and girls. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.